That one term, that one thing that I want to bring people is wonder. A brief moment or an entire soundscape of wonderful things that are full of wonderment. That's the reason I'm a musician, right? Is that I can't find it in words and I can't find it in pictures and abstracts. I need it to be somehow intoned. My name is Alfred Darlington and I make music as Daedalus. In some regards, there is no escaping oneself. I had a conundrum for a long time to be what was going to be me. I eventually surrendered, though, into the curious mix that I now find myself coming back again and again to. My own history in sound kind of starts like many. I got a young education in some music culture, specifically orchestra. Went on to bass clarinet and double bass, and with double bass I went on to jazz. I saw all this freedom, but then it was all met with rules. It never was my voice. Electronics were really compelling in the fact that it isn't limited to an instrument's range. It's not limited to the 88 keys on a piano. You have all of recorded history at your fingertips, but you also have the ability to create frequencies that are above and below human perception. I have all these sounds in my head and they want to just pour out of my mouth. This complication of music theory and recorded history and all. It's nothing compared to just moving a dial, pushing a lever. I grew up in a rave era where there was a lot of confusion, where the underground was the overground, and the shift of perspective made it so suddenly you had songs that could be beyond these like plunderphonic little gestures to these like really expansive ideas that could be remixed, recapitulated.
But this is like the song Nobody by Mitski meeting Nobody by Keith Sweat, and they like perfectly work together. It's eerie. I'm maybe trading this in potentially if there's anyone here. So this is all modular gear. This is this world away from just being odd branded synths from crazy engineering minds to being really musically enabled devices. And with a little bit of patching, a little bit of cleverness, it's like anything is possible. To bridge the same device to the rest of the world over this link cable here, I'm going to take some pitch information and run it to this Frap Tools Fumana, which is like an EQ vocoder. I mean, you know, it's just stuff. The choke modeling is like crazy.
Enacting, enabling, bringing forth. As soon as you do that, it has its own presence, its own life, its own intention, and you are just in service of that. And that, to me, is one of the most pleasant places to exist in, is to be in service of the bigger sound, the worldwide sound. It keeps on being this thing of, oh, I like this combination of problems, and so the set of problems become the set of possibilities. And invention is the kind of language to which we evolve there. This here is the electric chord organ, and it's found its way into a few tracks, most notably on a song called Experience from, again, my first record. I don't play it terribly well, although I am somewhat synonymous with, from just that one little accordion song.
Living off borrowed time, the clock tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick Dastardly and Muttley with sick laughter.
So this guitar here is an open tuning, started on the fundamental B flat, so it has a sound. And a little bit from like, that's the Whirligig, that's the Whirligig. And on my latest record, on my very newest, the Bitter Einders, it's on a track called Puts You Under. tuning really does lend itself towards all kinds of outcomes. Oh God, this thing is such a beast. This accordion has also found its way into many tracks. See if I can get this right. So it's near on 20 years of releasing music. As a reaction to now, to life, music is the only thing that makes sense to me. All sounds, all songs, they have this little journey to them, something that lives in space and time. I've made these records, for instance, about old wars. My upcoming one is called The Bitter Einders, and it's about a war in South Africa that happened over 100 years ago. You have these Free Orange people that were Dutch separatists that had been there for a while, and the British who wanted this. And then you had all these people who had been there for millennia, who were stepped on. Who cares? It's in the past. We're in the present, and our present is imperiled. We're so overwhelmed with now, why not make music that's fun and happy and easy? But what's the use of that? Electronic music, once again, gives you the opportunity to either like play nice or play against, to talk about in metaphor and simile in music. You have the sound of cannon or the sound of grinding gears. I have this pipe organ that is in and out of tune in these subtle ways that make you feel like you are claustrophobic. What a terrible thing to give people, and yet at the same time, it's reflecting a terrible moment, so useful. I want sonority. I desperately want sonority, but I think you have to travel through cacophony to get to sonority. I've seen all these different moves happen over the years where the DJ ears are in a certain space and the audience is in a certain space, and if you break those conventions, you pay a price. It's a beautiful price. It's like the price of freedom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last performance of the day, we have Daedelus on his modular synthesizer rig with some cool samples loaded up, and the new Daedelus 2, version 2 is in effect. Sorry to blow that up, but that's special to me.
And so my ears are kind of stuck in that space of like reckless enthusiasm. I love that. I want the music to be just a little too fast, just a little too exuberant, just a little bit too loud, too joyous, too sad, that it becomes something that feels other. And then I've succeeded in every regard. Our ears never end, so what kind of keeps me tumbling is that I just don't know where it's going. I don't know where that river is flowing. I haven't ever reached the ocean. I've just kind of been flowing down towards it. And the ocean probably is going to be the end. The end of sound, the end of me, will be my ocean. I am a broken person, and sound is my only outcome. I have plenty of other passions, but if it wasn't for sound, I would just be pretty hollow.
You don't have to say it, I'm on my way.
Thank you.
Got some records over there. So much.
To get people to focus in on themselves again. To focus in on their experience that they're having, their emotions they're having, is a great goal. I've purposefully made wonder my central concept, partially because I'm looking for those who also gravitate towards that place in the universe.
Live your life, your entire life of strife. Live your life, your entire life of strife. Live your life, your entire life of strife. Live your life.
It's really important that the music doesn't stop when it ceases. It needs to echo and remain and change. I would love it if people knew the songs like they knew stories and told it occasionally to another as a thing that moved them somehow. It would be nice if that would be possible at all. my voice is not necessarily the most valid, it's just mine. And I think there's something to be said in that too.
I know that I know. I just wanna lightning will strike. I just have a feeling I know. I just know what she's like.